Dude, check this out. Shun paring knife. This thing came to my shop almost exactly a year ago on the day. My customer uses it almost daily, but he has great respect for knives, so he's used it smartly. Let's put this bad boy on the edge on up. Let's see what kind of score we get. And you know what? I'm actually kind of impressed by that score because I've seen knives come in that have been sharpened and or are brand new that score worse than that. And let's face it, a ton has changed in the last year. And a ton of things have changed in my shop. And I want to know how this edge was able to survive like this. We've got in the shop, we've changed our angles, we've changed our gear, we've changed our technique. So let's go through all of it. All right, let's grind. Man, it's crazy how many videos I've made in the last year, and I'm always trying to think about that next video, like what's gonna be fun and interesting. And on this one, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do something completely different. And it dawned on me when this knife walked into the shop because this customer, I sharpened this knife literally almost exactly a year ago. And it got me thinking, like, a lot's changed in the last year. And, you know, it'd be kind of cool to look at, like, what have I changed in my process and my gear? And right now, I'm sharpening on Diamond. Diamond and CBN was hands down the #1 upgrade I made in the last year. If you're still sharpening on the SG 250 or those stock blue wheels, aluminum oxide wheels, I implore you to consider doing some research and upgrade those as soon as you can. #2 on my list is that big old black thing that's clamped on that knife right there. That's the Cutter Masters or Tradesman Knife Jig. I'm absolutely in love with this thing. It's got the smoothest glide across the support bar that you can have. And the centering of it is perfect every single time. Favorite part, I upgraded the jig stop, so I've got the most purchase on that support bar that you can absolutely have. If you look closely, you're gonna notice that I'm dive bombing, as my buddy Reed likes to say. I'm starting my grind on the point of the knife. Now, I'm not one to get stuck in my ways. I'm always looking to evolve and adapt and get better at the craft. Early in my YouTube career, a gentleman named Rich Colvin, the founder of the sharpeninghandbook.com, reached out to me and said he suggested I start with the heel and finish on the point. Reason being, wherever you start, you tend to spend the most time. And the heel needs more time, so logically that's a good place. Well, I do a lot of Spydercos, and they got that Ricasso, and you know, recently I said, yeah, let's revisit this whole starting with the point and finishing with the heel thing, and here I am doing it. I kind of like it better, you know. Nonetheless, it's very difficult to find that perfect angle to start at. That part I'm not too fond of. But nonetheless, we'll see how this thing evolves in the future. Another part of my process that's changed, actually the most of any, I started my sharpening journey under the mindset that edge leading was the best option. And that's where the grindstone is pushing into the cutting edge. That evolved over time as I started to study and get feedback from people. And then I started to adapt an edge trailing method into my process. Well, guess what? Now I'm back to edge leading as what I'm starting to believe to be the best option overall. And again, this is a whole video in of itself. I plan to do this one. It's on the program. It just, there's a lot that goes into a video like that. And I want to make sure I do a perfect job on explaining everything and putting together the science, the data to back the claims, all that. So, but right now I'm experimenting more so on edge leading than I am on trailing, with of course the exception of our leather wheel with that 3 micron diamond. You cannot run an edge leading. If I could, I probably would. I'm aware the edge on up sharpness tester isn't a great tool to, you know, display how a knife's going to perform in the real world. However, it does give you a good idea of how keen your edge is. And for me, that's a big deal. Mac Jaynard introduced me to the 100-gram weight to set a consistent tension on my filament line. And that's been huge for me because now my results are way more consistent than they ever were before. That's a huge thing for my shop and in my progression and in chasing ultimate sharpness when it comes to sharpening on machines. And of course, the Kangaroo leather tail. We just hit 120 on the edge on up. We're gonna hit this all. I made sure to film the whole thing so you don't think there's any kind of trickery. There's a lot of folks doing some movie magic with their edge on ups, and that's just, it's what a bummer. What losers too, by the way, to cheat not only the community and the public, but themselves, you know? So here we are, we just hit 120. Gonna clean some of that kangaroo fur or whatever the heck it's called off of here. And we're gonna go one more time and see if we get any sharper. And boom, we just got 21 grams sharper, which is huge. This is different. This is a special thank you to Jonathan, Mac Maynard, Doug Butterfield, who napped a stinking obsidian knife, and Fred B., friends of mine who have given me amazing gifts in different ways. Thank you guys. Jaeger, thank you for trusting me early when my business was new and for giving me an extra day with your knives so I could shoot this video. Jonathan, these business cards, bro, these are so friggin' awesome. Thank you. And to our sponsors who help keep these lights on, the camera filming, KFMK, Buck Tool, TS Prof, CJRB, Flexi Spot, Blacksmith, Storage, and PD Tools. I'm looking forward to that phone call. See ya.